Mission accomplished, but we won't leave Nigeria, says Chinese doctors. The Chinese medical team, which arrived on April 8th, has been unable to leave the country following the unavailability of commercial flights to Beijing, the capital of China. It was gathered that the personnel had concluded their assessment, which included assisting with the installation of some equipment and sharing COVID-19 experience with the federal government. The 15-man team, which include experts in infectious diseases, respiratory illness, intensive care, cardiology, neurology, general surgery, anesthesiology, and a journalist, had come to the country on the invitation of the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation. The executive director, CCECC, Mr. Jacques Liao, disclosed in Abuja on Monday that the team had been unable to leave the country because there were no commercial flights. He explained that the medical experts were still at the Idu area of Abuja where they were accommodated. The Minister of Health, Osage Hanire, had said during a briefing by Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 that he did not know the whereabouts of the Chinese visitors, stressing that they were not guests of the federal government but that of the construction company. But shedding light on the situation, Liao stated that the personnel were supposed to spend 1 month in the country, adding that they were issued 3 month visas. He said the Chinese medical team are waiting for their flights and this depends on when the airspace will be opened. You know, they came by a charter flight because of the personal protective equipment and other medical materials they brought, but they can't go back by charter flight, so they are waiting for regular commercial flights. They are still here in Abuja and they would still assist the Ministry of Health anytime they require their assistance. Wow, this news is coming from Punch. Okay. You can imagine. So the the system they use in bringing them, they cannot use the same system. But just like what they are saying, that because they were bringing equipment and that was why they came with a chartered flight. But now they are going without going with anything. They cannot just take a chartered flight. So their company cannot just foot the bill. So until when Nigerian government has lifted the ban on the border, that is when they cannot leave. Wow. Well, let's hear what Nigerians are saying because we don't want to flog this matter again. Because we know the position of the Minister of Health, what he said, and Nigerians were able to use their tongue to count their teeth based on what the Minister of Health said. Someone says this is our Nigerian government safe. This is our Nigerian government safe. Before they said they have no idea of their whereabouts. Today is mission accomplished and they cannot leave the country. Did they come into the country when there was free movement? Please let APC be very little straightforward in some issues. Someone says government of lies. Who is deceiving who? As their mission is accomplished, so God's mission concerning us will be accomplished. What kind of equipment do they install? Are you sure it's not 5G network? This Buhari regime, Nigeria turned upside down. At which private, public or road junction or Bermuda Triangle hospitals the installation was made? Maybe it was the Spiritual Hospital of Nigeria. Unfortunately, no opposition to checkmate the APC government and they are having it all. They are saying no plan movement and that was why they never go back. When they came in, was there movement? And that's a good question that people are asking. God in heaven will punish all of you people. Someone say, I laugh in Latin. It seems like what this young man, Nnamdi Kanu, is saying is somehow truth. There's so much truth in it. Connecting Chinese engineers working inside Aso Villa, but we are deceived by APC government. Tomorrow, what we hear is what we hear is that Nigeria spent 50 million naira to bring Chinese doctors. Of course, I think everybody should take note of these things because they said it was the Chinese engineering company that brought them in. and it is they are not federal government is not their host. So like somebody is saying now that tomorrow now they will include all those logistics in the budget or in all that they have spent when they are giving updates of what they are, what they spent the money contributed to, what they spend it on. Another says mission accomplished, but we won't leave Nigeria. Meanwhile, they are maltreating our citizens in China. I prefer to be a Somalia or Yemen than this lie country. Says it is funny. You people have finished opening Aso Rock. Okay? Now sharp. It's only in Africa foreigners sneak into the country and the authority are not decent enough to explain their mission. God in his infinite mercy will expose you one by one. That's it. Oh. Someone is saying here that I am ashamed of this government. They don't even know how to lie, yet they kept on lying. Mosquito brain is better than their brains. Lost and found, Nigeria Minister of Health had no idea about the whereabouts of the Chinese team. So the so-called Chinese doctors had nothing doing in their country to remain in Nigeria when their job here is done. They didn't enter this country when there was commercial flight during China. Okay, further explanation required, please. Ha ha ho, Nigeria, I really pity us. So if the opposition parties can't intervene in this madness, why not we the citizens to wake up? Of course, if the opposition comes now and begin to say it, oh, they will tell them to go and sit down. They will tell them to go and shut up. Oh, they will tell them to go and do this. Do you know somebody was even asking on radio that why is it that Nigerians are even interested? Because initially Nigerians said they were not going to come, that they should not come, that they were not interested in their coming. Now that they are now in the country, that why should Nigerians be asking? You know, I was just like, how is this person really reasoning? Nigeria said they don't want them. Now you have brought them there. They will still know what they are doing because they have the right to know what they are doing. If the way Nigeria said they should not even allow them to come in the first place and they didn't come, then maybe they are still in their country. Then when maybe Nigeria will not start asking, oh, what about these Chinese people? At least somebody can ask it, but you guys say you don't want them. So why are you asking after them? But not when they have entered the country and we don't even know what they are doing. The government is not even telling anybody what is happening, what is the next line of action. And you expect Nigerians not to ask that question. I was just wondering that how do people just even support people to a fault that it does not really make sense. In as much they forced their way through, the federal government forced their way through to let these people come in. Because initially they said they invited them. Now you are not telling us that these people wanted to come to the country, the company, the CCE or this Chinese engineering construction wanting said they wanted to come and help Nigeria. Why is it that other companies, are they the only companies in this country? Why is it that other companies they don't come to say they want to help? So if Nigerians want to go and help now in another country, now you think they will allow them? They will not allow them because they will tell you, oh, there's a lockdown order. But because we manipulate and jump a lot of things, that is why they could bring them. But we know that a lot of things are into all of this. They are just playing pranks, they're just playing tricks, and that is why the whole thing, appears that is everything is being shrouded in secrecy. Someone says, what dark mission did they do that we, the citizens, should be left on the dark? The Dragon Nation is very subtle and dangerous. Someone says, Nnamdi Kanu is really a gift to Nigeria. I think this is the best time to eliminate all our leaders as it were in Ghana. Good for Nigerians. Now you can see the difference. The difference. This is the consequence of hatred of a man from minority. Give her a second chance. You people refuse because of bias and hatred. That's what somebody says. Then another says that our security system here is porous. Of course, as if our leaders don't know what they are doing. How can Chinese people be allowed here for any reasons at this critical time when we know the dreadful disease originated from their country? I miss Idiagmo greatly in this country. He wouldn't have allowed such nonsense. Our leaders have become helpless. They can't even think for themselves. So guys, let us hear your opinion concerning what this Chinese doctor are saying, because there is no They can't. There's no commercial flights now. They can't go back. I don't know whether that excuse is tenable before you. Let's have your conversation and your comments in the comment section.